Welcome back everyone, this is TreyCon here, the gaming statistician, and I'm not sure how helpful this video is going to be for everyone, but it is something I see comes up quite a lot in the chat here with a lot of new players, and even some medium level players seem to be asking that, and that's how to make gold. So I just want to give a few tips on how to maximize the amount of gold you can get, show you things to make sure you're doing every day, and then over time you're going to build up a nice stack of gold. If you do it right, you can make millions and millions a week. That shouldn't be a problem. You're not going to, get 10 million gold in one day, but over time, if you pay attention to it, you should get more gold. Before I get into that, I just also want to say that I decided to unlock Cruel King Bramble. I've started using him. I might try to do some videos on using him in some teams and things. I just kind of messed around with him a little bit, but I couldn't wait to try to get him in the summons. I had no idea when the next event was going to be, so I just unlocked him with tokens. But let's get back into the gold. So the number one thing that you can do to make sure that you get a lot of gold, and I think a lot of people don't pay attention to this, is when you're going for tokens with your heroes, which I do a lot, and I just, you're quick looting things. So you go here and you're quick looting. Always, always, always start from the bottom. So a lot of times these days, I don't even worry about some of these top ones. Yeah, you can get a hero a little bit more quickly if you do all of those every day. But what I do is I go to the hardest few dungeons and I'll quick loot those. So you can see here, Will-O-Swift, I've done the bottom two. Have I done any for Tsume yet? I'm not sure. He's almost 5 stars, which is pretty sweet. No, I haven't done any for him yet, so what I'll do is, when I go to him, I'll open him up, start from the bottom, just quick loot, and you can see that you get, how much gold am I going to get for that? So 7,000 there, or 7,700. Let's see what we get again. 7,700. It's taking a little while to get a token here. All right, finally a token, silver chest, and we get 7,700 again. Now, if I were to go to the easiest dungeon, and I'll just do this for purposes of the video, and I quick loot this, and you can see silver chest, and I only get 2,400 gold. So it might not seem like a lot, a 5,000 gold difference, but when you're talking about doing, I probably quick loot, or not just quick loot, but run, 30, 40 dungeons a day easy. So 5,000 gold difference for each one, that can add up to 150 or 200,000 more gold every day, which is an extra 1.5 million a week. So that's one way to make sure you get gold. If you don't care about gold at all, then, do whatever you want for the dungeons. But I think over time it makes sense to get gold because the biggest limiting factor in heroes, especially with the Tower of Pawnage, is not necessarily the levels. You can see I have no problem getting all these heroes to max level. It is their abilities. So, like Overlord Executum, what are his abilities at? We'll go to his abilities, 29 and 29. So they're way behind his level. So you really want to focus on the gold. Another thing you can do to get a lot of gold and very easily is go into My Dungeon, go to the Honor Shop, and depending on where you are with your heroes, you may or may not want to do this, but it really is worth it. 500 Honor Scrolls, 250,000 gold a day. That adds up to another 1.5 million a week. So first strategy, 1.5 million a week. This strategy, 1.5 million a week. Those together equal 3 million extra gold a week if you do those things each day and pay attention to those. The next thing here is your chest. So you can see that I always focus on upgrading the gold generation first. So I'm at 3,000 per hour. Because you know what, if you get hit and the difference between maybe 35% and 41%, as long as you collect it frequently, you don't need to worry about getting hit. So I'll actually up that one more time. But I always keep the gold generation at max. And with a 3,000 per hour times the bonus down here, 3.25x, I get about 240,000 gold a day. And you can see right here, 91,000 more gold, collect that. And 200,000 more gold a day, that's another about 1.4, 1.5 million a week. So that's 4.5 million right there if you upgrade your chest pretty regularly and you make sure that you collect it regularly also so people aren't actually stealing from it. And then the last and final thing I want to talk about, one of the things that hopefully you do every day is go to the campaign. It doesn't cost any stamina. Go into Gold Island here and just do the hardest island that you can. Unfortunately, I can't quite do 4 yet. That requires level 60. These guys are just a little bit too tough. But I'm to the point now with this recommended level 50. I started doing this level 50 around level 45. So, I mean, most of them are red heroes. You get some purples in there. So I just pretty much use an all blue team. I could do Selwyn, Stonefist, get Yasmin for some extra health, and then I'll throw the thermal detonator guy in there. I can't remember his name right now, but I'll throw him in there because he does a lot of damage. Attack it. And then if you're really lucky and you get a purple chest here, I think you can get I've gotten up to about 250,000 gold from one purple chest. Usually I get about 100 or 110,000 gold, but it doesn't cost any stamina, so it's absolutely free. So this one is an absolutely free, another 100,000 gold a day. Make sure you do this every day. It's another way I just, go in here. It's a pretty easy dungeon. It doesn't matter what hero I use. I'm just trying to use a friend's hero. I get 30 honor. They get 30 honor. So use that hero, and then I'll go through the dungeon here. One little tip on the dungeon, especially if you're on this level, is that I always attack the purple guys first, just because the red guys do almost no damage to me. So a fire hero is unable to crit a water hero. So there's really no worry at all. A lot of times I'll just not even worry about this one anymore. I'll actually just do the quick run thing, the quick run option. But when I do, use this and actually pay attention to my abilities, I make sure that I take out the purple guys first, and then I take out the fire guys, even though they are champions. Because a lot of times they do stupid things anyways. They won't even attack you. They take a turn and they give themselves burning skin. And I've had times before where with these three, this first guy might give himself burning skin, and the next guy will give this first guy burning skin, and then the third guy will give the first guy burning skin. So they don't actually do anything to you the entire time. It's just a really, really easy way to get gold every day. I don't remember how much you get in the lower levels, like 1 and 2, but it's still really good. So I mean, between these different strategies, I mean, it's really easy to get yourself 4 to 5 million gold a week on, just extra, just by thinking about these little things and making sure you're doing these things each day. And then of course there's a Tower of Ponage. You can do that every day. I feel like lately the tower has gotten a lot more difficult, so I've been slacking a little bit on it. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing it though if you're really trying to maximize your play. But I miss the tower every once in a while. You're gonna miss things every once in a while. It's not that big of a deal if you miss something here or there. It's just more about trying to be pretty consistent, and most days, getting your Gold Island run in, making sure you're collecting your chest frequently, spending that 500 honor. Honor is so easy to get that 250,000 gold a day. And then, most days you're probably doing the Tower of Ponage as well. And that, the Tower of Ponage, depending on, how you're doing, might be worth some, on the lines of 100,000 or 150,000 or something. I think the last few levels give you really nice amounts of gold, but these days I haven't really been able to do that well at those levels. I feel like they've gotten more difficult. I actually, I think the one today I have, level 10 even, has level 59 heroes. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if they recently buffed it, but it kind of sucks that it got more difficult. I used to be crushing it every day, but now I'm just having more trouble. And actually, a couple of my heroes here on this run, as I've been talking, have gotten a little low in health, so I'll just use Yasmin to heal them up. I really like her lately. You can see I have her fully ascended. I think she might even be 5 stars pretty soon, so that'll be pretty cool. I have a bunch of heroes right now who are very close to being 4 stars and very close to being 5 stars. So pretty soon I'm going to be a lot more powerful than I was recently, with a lot more 4 stars and 5 stars, and I'm hoping that maybe once I cross that threshold for a bunch more of them, I'll do much better. So I'll keep this video going because I just do want to talk about the final boss in here. The final boss is the one thing that can be kind of difficult. But if you have Selwyn, the final boss is much, much easier. I think I'm maybe one more room away. So yeah, so I just got to do one more room. Let me get my sparkly there. A little bit more gold. Don't get much gold from those, but oh, I guess I got looks like about 15,000 just because it's a in the gold on the gold island. So make sure that you hit those sparklies if you're on the gold island. That's another 15,000 easy gold. So here we go. We can take away now. See that burning skin? They just cast that all the time, it seems like, and it doesn't do really anything to help against my blue heroes. So I always find that kind of funny. I wouldn't be surprised now if this other guy did it soon. So this is, man, this still, I know I've said this before in the past, but really group chat. I like group chat because I can help new players out and sometimes give them tips. And people ask, "Whoa, what are keys for?" And they have really simple questions, so it can help them out. But still, it would be nice to toggle that on and off. And there's another worthless burning skin cast, so no issues in this dungeon. But it would be cool if you could just turn it off sometimes, because sometimes it really just gets overbearing. Like the other day, they were having a political fight on it, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So let's get through this one last guy here. So the only thing is, it does go a little bit slowly with this team makeup, but it is really easy to make sure that you get the win and you're not going to lose any heroes. I've actually tested it out. If you lose heroes and you don't 3-star it, I'm pretty sure that you still get the same amount of gold. So you don't have to worry about that. If you do lose a hero, it's not the end of the world. But it's usually best not to. Alright, so this final guy here, what you can do is if you just use Selwyn, save a couple of his abilities, because the final guy can do a lot of damage. But Selwyn does a nice job of freezing him. So you freeze him with Selwyn there. Oh, and this helmet missiles is awesome. It lowers the defense of him as well, so you'll start doing more damage to him. And then also combine that with Fist of Justice, and his defense and attack go down. And then we can use this next one, Frosty Bolt, and we can freeze him again. So what you do is you can pretty much just keep freezing him and get a lot of his health down before he even has a chance to attack, which is pretty sweet. And then if you're lucky, whenever Selwyn crits, he has a chance of freezing. So if I get really lucky here and I can crit him, unfortunately I didn't crit him. If I'd critted him, then he would have been frozen again and he may have never even been able to get an attack off. So you can see that he does quite a amount of damage. Luckily it's red against blue, so those didn't do as much. I'm just going to taunt just to make sure. Even though it doesn't matter if someone dies, I don't like it when someone does. So now he's only going to be hitting, unless he does one of his abilities where he can hit multiple people at once. So, but it should be this round. Hopefully I'll almost get him through here. So let's just cast that Aegis shield so to make sure he doesn't die. And a nice crit heal there. So even if he gets hit again, he won't take any damage. Got the taunt going on. A few more hits here. I hope I get a purple chest for the video. That would be pretty sweet for the gold day. And then my last tip before I close this video out, because I will be done pretty much right after I finish this dungeon, is to make sure that you don't just spend your gold immediately, because you get these events coming up, and when the events come up, sometimes there might be one hero that you have that's kind of low level. Okay, so you can see it's 111,000 gold there, which is pretty awesome. So an event might come up and you have a hero that you could really use to help you beat the hard dungeon. But if you're gonna always use your gold immediately, then you're not going to be able to use that hero use that hero in the hard dungeon if it doesn't have all of its abilities level. But if you have 2 or 3 million gold sitting around and you need to quickly level the abilities of one hero to help you in a dungeon, then you can do that. So 4.4 million is a little bit more than I usually have, but I usually like to keep a couple million available at all times for those types of things. So hope you enjoyed the video, and it actually turned out quite a bit longer than I was expecting. But make sure you come back, because I got a couple more cool videos for the weekend as well. Peace.